I got a catalog of emotional scars from a person who's a fiend. Don't know her problems, but she sure lays it on. Bobby and cruel like a beast. You've got an interest for her, that's all fine and dandy. But let me tell you how she's not as sweet as candy. I'll give you warnings so you'll see.
Hey guys, you just heard a couple of seconds from Room 216, the new song from Pandarama. And today we have a special guest with us. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Panda, part of the Rama, but mostly the Pandarama, but mostly Panda.
That's what we like to hear. Unfortunately, Danny's not with us today.
He's got a job.
Yeah, he's got a job, and by job I mean I buried him. He's no longer, actually no. So today we're gonna talk about the band. We're gonna talk about the songwriting processes, and all that good stuff.
Right. So like I was, this isn't the third time we're trying to do this. So
No,
like I wasn't
definitely
saying
not.
before.
We don't do multiple takes.
Exactly. Did you hear? Have you ever heard of that song in My Super Sweet 16 on MTV by Hilary Duff?
No, I
No?
never watched the show. I mean,
That's great.
one of my favorite songs from Hilary Duff is "Why Not," and I like to
Why
play
not?
that. I like to play that in the car sometimes. Well, I used to, but we would be in the car and we would have the aux cable connected, and I would just play that, and without fail, someone in the car would go, "Why?" So inevitably, I have to reply by saying, "Why not?"
Take a crazy chance.
Why not?
The reason I bring it up is because I thought of the like best mashup ever. Are you ready to listen?
Sure.
Okay. She's a mess. Oh no, wait. How does that song go again? She's a mess. She's a queen. 216. Yet a ball of what the fuck. 216.
It sounds like you're referencing
And I
some
wouldn't want to
new
have
track.
your luck. 216. Bitch, I wouldn't want to have your luck. 216. Yeah.
I think if that's how your song went, I would like it significantly less, and I wouldn't be afraid to tell you that either.
Thank you. That was my mashup of our song.
So what? Well,
We're just
so,
gonna go
so when
transition
did
straight
you
into
when did
it.
you start? When did you start like being into like music and performing music?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me this question because I've totally never been asked this question. So I have always wanted to be in a band. I think in my early 2011, 2010, I got super back into Paramore. Like Paramore is probably my biggest band inspiration, specifically because of Hayley Williams. And I remember that she had always been like, oh, I love, I just want to be in a band. I don't, I know everyone wants me to be like this, like, what is it, main
Solo
girl,
artist?
yeah, and, everyone wants to focus on me, but I love being in a band, and that stuck with me for the longest, and I just loved seeing a bunch of bands and listening to a bunch of bands and thinking of how much fun that could be. So I remember that I was just I want to do a band. One day I don't know what was happening, but I just started writing lyrics. I remember what was happening. I was like I've had like a big traumatic issue. Like it was around 2014, and I was very annoyed and sad. So then I just started writing lyrics and coming up with like melodies. And I don't play a damn instrument, so.
Do you still not play an instrument?
I
now?
still don't play an instrument. You know how many times I've sat down and tried? So many, god damn it, and nothing. You think I'd take the quarantine to play a fucking instrument? Nope, bitch didn't do shit. Anyway, back to topic. Yeah. So then, I just remember just wanting to do something with somebody after writing those lyrics, and I'm like, what do I do now? Where do I go? And then you didn't ask me for the origin of how we started, but basically that's how I found
What's
Steven.
the origin of how you guys started?
Yeah, so then that leads
Is that
to
when you met Steve, or you had met Steve before?
I met Steven. We were doing this thing called Dynamic Expressions, which is like a, I want to say theater kind of group, but it ended up being a performing arts group.
Right.
And I had been doing like covers of music, what do you call it, instrumentals.
Right.
And I remember I just wanted to do more personal music, more originals. So then, Steven had been in our group for like a minute, and then one day he went to his friend. I overheard him, and he's just like, "Oh, I need to find a songwriter or a lyricist for my my class, cause I
that
really
your
need to
impression
find."
of
That is
Steven?
my impression of Steven. Yes, it is. You should hear Jax. And then I overheard him, and I was just like, "Hey, so like, I got some songs, man. I got some songs I wrote. We could do a little thing." So yeah, we got together. We started, coming up with ways to make the songs work. Well, of course, me not playing an instrument, I just like making noises at him, and he was able to pick it up and come up with his own stuff, and it worked. So then we became the duo Pandarama. And yeah, and then, we decided to take it off and find the bassist, find a drummer, and now we do this. We play gigs, and we played gigs.
Yeah, because now the Rona has stopped everybody.
But yeah, now we do record our music and stuff.
Oh, that's a pretty epic story.
I know, right?
Of epic proportions.
So big. Like, oh man, nobody's gonna top that shit.
No,
Can
not
I
a single
curse?
guest. You can curse all you want.
Oh. Okay, can I just do this?
Will you be
and then
more? Will you be more inspired to curse if I tell you that you can't curse?
I don't know. That depends.
All right, you can't curse.
Okay, can you just like put a whole beep on what I'm about to say?
Sure.
I've always wanted to be beeped. I've never been beeped before.
I was never like censored before or beeped before either. But on the first episode, I wanted Danny to make me sound like a horrible, horrible person. So I had him censor.
I know.
I had him censor a specific word that I said.
Yeah, I remember.
To make it sound
horrible.
like another word.
That was horrible.
I
heard
didn't
and I was
say
just
it.
Like, man, that was perfect. But
I
he's
didn't-
going to hell.
I didn't say it as far as you people know. As far as you people know. But, so then, okay. Now we can move on to talking about Room 216.
Oh, thank God we got over the hard stuff.
Yeah. So Room 216, if I can... So what came first, the music or the lyrics? And and I'm assuming you wrote the lyrics, right?
I did write the lyrics. So it was actually the music. I was on a bus ride up to FIU for school, and I got a message from Steven, and he's like, "Hey, so I was coming up with these songs, and I was just like in the shower, so then I recorded them, and I'm playing them. Here they go." So he sent me two, and then I really resonated with the one that would eventually become 216. So I spent time on the bus just writing it out, and usually my lyrics tend to be about personal experiences.
You write for them from real experiences that you've had.
Yes. So every time you hear an angry song, it's usually about somebody or some kind of experience.
Sweet daughter of blood.
That's
about a woman who started bleeding.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sweet blood.
Yes, sweet blood. If you want to talk about that later, we can.
I'm down to talk about all the songs.
Oh sweet, we can totally do that.
That's why I'm distracted looking up for your album.
You can actually find the lyrics, a little plug, on our website.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and all the songs will be linked when you click on the little albums. Yeah, that. Yeah, it's at Pandarama.com. I repeat, that's Pandarama.com. We have a .com, y'all.
We'll be sure to put the link inside the description.
just gonna
I'm
make
very anal about putting leaks.
Nope, that's
links.
not PandaramaBand.com, y'all. That is PandaramaBand.com. I was testing all of you. All of you. Even Michael.
There we go.
There it is.
There
See,
you
it
go.
works. All right, sweet.
I'm not giving you people my email.
So it's in the lyrics tab. In the lyrics tab.
Ah,
There you go. All right. So yeah. So I was writing 216, and I was like, it'd be interesting if I made this a little bit of a story, a fun little story about a dude who is talking about this girl who lives in his building, and there's a new guy who just moved there, and he sees this new guy and he approaches him. He's just like, I know what you're thinking. She's hot. But nah, son, she a bitch. So that I wanted to play with that song, and I wanted to be a little bit more catchy. So I thought, why not kind of make this a catchy kind of more upbeat vibe?
It's very danceable.
Yes, with a little like sass in it, because I have to have sass. I'm just a sassy person by nature. I don't know if you can tell.
I mean, yeah, it's fun to be sassy sometimes. I think like Woman is like, if I'm gonna make a comparison, because Woman's also about a vile, awful human that happens to be a female, which continues my vendetta against women that we seem to bring up every single episode.
Every episode, I've noticed.
Yeah. That's gonna be a running theme.
I hope so.
Until someone calls me out and it's like, oh, you're a misogynist.
You
But I'm like,
misogynist
I mean, I don't
pig.
hate all women.
If I wasn't gay, I would slap you. I just wanted to bring my gay agenda into it.
That's it. This has been agendized.
Yes.
But like Woman is, I consider that song it has like a darker tone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like the same subject. It's about this girl who is clearly very beautiful on the outside, but she's very toxic on the inside. And so that's what your song is basically about. But it's upbeat instead.
Yes, but the secret thing that nobody understands, or I assume, I'm assuming that people won't get it. Of course, the artist is always going to be like, nobody's going to see it. No, but it's actually supposed to be the guy is what is it called? He's the narrator, but he's the unreliable narrator, right?
Oh, so he's
Yes. So he's telling you all these things about this girl, how she's an asshole or a bitch and all that shit. But how do you know?
Yeah,
How do you as an audience, how can you take his word for it?
Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I feel like maybe the narrator of the song himself is trying to gun for the person that he's speaking for. Because there's the lyric in the song that goes, just stick with me and you will see the girl you met you will soon forget. And I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that kind of feels like the person being like...
So you have half of it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you have half of it. So there's supposed to be two kind of messages in this song. One is the line of... I've got a catalog of emotional scars with the girl who broke my heart. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's like the line before the final chorus.
Exactly. So that's supposed to tell you that he obviously has some history with her. Mm-hmm. So she probably dumped him because he was a tool. He was a douche.
Right.
And then the other element is a little bit of my kind of perspective in it. It's like, well, maybe he wants this new guy, right?
Right.
Because ultimately, most of my songs tend to be like genderless terms. You can always kind of put yourself in it, whatever you are.
Right.
But this one was more like a story, kind of fun kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to take a little bit of my own kind of thing in it. But yeah, that's usually that's typically how the song is supposed to be. It's just like, he's an unreliable person. How do you know that this woman is a complete bitch and that she's just such a diva? How can you trust the narrator of this person when you don't even know him, right? You're putting yourself as the person who this guy's talking about, or who the guy's talking to,
Right.
and you're just hearing all these vile things about her. So how do you know? but maybe he has a thing for you that he really likes, and maybe he's
Yeah,
trying
like-
to deter you because maybe he wants you to himself, and you don't know.
Yeah, like
So-
a little from column A, a little from column B, probably.
Exactly. So the song is it's just supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek kind of fun thing.
Oh yeah, like with the way like the lyrics are like the final chorus is the most tongue in cheek part to me. I love it.
I
by the
wanted
way.
to go out with a bang.
Have you?
I think it's
like
the
and I wouldn't want to have your luck for the day you got love struck. Have you saying goddamn shit fuck? I love that.
I
line.
wanted to like I wanted to have a like impactful like god damn it motherfucker, you know when you stub your toe.
Yeah.
I wanted the narrator to have that kind of like fucking listen to me god damn it because I'm pissed she's a bitch god damn it. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
He
no.
really wants you to know how he feels about her. You
That's
know?
like that's literally the kind of thing like that I do, but when I'm live and like I either forget the lyrics, so I'm just like I'm singing the same verse as the last one, and then I just put it in there. Or like if I have if I could have a direct example, we have a song called "Nobody Loves Me," and on that one is like one of the few songs where I just straight up scream, and at the end I just scream instead of the regular chorus. I just keep repeating "Nobody loves me" and nobody cares. That's why this song is called "Nobody Loves Me" with a sad face on it. Because the thing is like, I don't know, like you have some songs that I would consider more on the serious side.
Yes.
And we do too, but I always like to have that comedic relief even in those songs. So for like example, in like some of the lyrics in and we're not gonna get too deep into it because once we release our full album, I'm gonna be with Danny and we're gonna deep dive into our own lyrics, like a genius kind of thing.
Ooh.
But for Nobody Loves Me, most of the lyrics in the verses are kind of dark, but the lyric of the chorus is nobody loves me, but I got my hand.
Oh,
So
man.
that's like that comic relief on that.
I've always wanted to sit down with other artists and kind of just like talking about our lyrics and the meanings and the significance behind them.
Oh yeah, I love talking about lyrics, especially like when you actually like, because I'm sure you have the same moments where you're like, I just wrote this song in 5 minutes. The lyrics don't mean too much to me. Yeah, that's Gizmo. If anything, could you open it? Just let him.
No,
Oh, you got it.
I don't gotta do shit.
Gizmo has entered the room.
Gizmo, would you like to say a couple words about our sponsors?
We're sponsored by. Oh, imagine like this Chinese dog has like a deep Southern accent.
We're sponsored by the Gay Agenda.
We're
brought
sponsored
to you
by the Gay Agenda.
by a valid gay.
This is gonna be our edgiest episode so far.
Yes.
but we have the pass.
I have to be the token I was
We
meant
have to be the token you were to be. I mean, me and Danny are Hispanic. We're already
Token Latinos?
We're already minorities.
Yeah.
We can be as edgy as we want.
Are you saying that us gays aren't more minority than you? How dare you?
Well, statistically, you definitely are.
Oh, he didn't like that. Gizmo did not like that.
Gizmo doesn't like tokenism.
No, he said, you token. He's like,
But yeah, no, it's definitely fun to like talk about lyrics. Even the lyrics where you do just like, okay, I wrote them, whatever, that's it.
yeah.
Like for me, I do normally write lyrics first and then the music after, even though that's a little harder, I think.
I usually write lyrics first before I actually have music, and then I'll just show them to Steven and the rest of the gang, and then we kind of just weave everything together, and we just chisel it, as I always say. We chisel out, the kinks, and then eventually it becomes the songs
Right.
that we have. Otherwise, it's Steven, he has got something going on. And he's like, could you come up with something for this song? And then we work on it.
Yeah, I think Steven told me he actually was he was responsible for the lyrics for Miami Weather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
those are
really
his.
love the lyrics on that song.
Yeah. One thing that I always, I know that people don't always pay attention to lyrics. They usually,
Aiden's
I'm not,
like that.
I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the compliments and stuff, but sometimes I know that people don't pay attention to lyrics. 'Cause it's usually like, I don't know what it's about, but that was great.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, as long as you like the song, cool. But the thing about Miami Weather is that listening to it, there's one line that I find so cringe.
Which one is it?
What was it? But
I said we could
it's
be
clever.
lovers.
I said we could be lovers,
But to her, I'm just a brother. And
I'm
just a
not
man.
into.
I love
incest.
that line, though.
I love it, but I think it's so cringy too.
It is kind of cringy,
and it's
but
so funny.
it's very clever.
Yeah, it is very clever, but it's at the same time. And I told Steven the other day, he's like, that line is so cringy. And you know, as artists, you know, when you go through some time, you look back and you're like, and he even thinks is like, that's how I feel about the whole 37.5 album. It's just so cringy.
What is that title, by the way?
All right, so we made like a safe version about like, I don't remember what it was, but basically one day we were just going around. This was before the whole lineup change. We had Snyder and I want to call him Red, but it's not Red. Ryan. We had Snyder and Ryan.
How's Snyder doing?
Snyder's doing great. He's
good.
got a great stable job. He just moved into his new place with his girlfriend.
Is he still in Miami?
He's still in Miami.
That's good.
So
I mean, that's not good. Miami
but
sucks.
he's very, very busy. I know he's doing well, and he's doing his life. He's doing his thing. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, he like we were getting together. We were trying to figure out what we're gonna title it. We also came up with the little panda designs on it. Each one of us drew it.
Each one of you drew your own panda?
We drew our own panda.
Which one's yours?
Well, which one do you think it would be?
The drummer.
Correct. You're so right.
Actually, no. Here's a real question. Which of these is supposed to be the guitarist and which one's the bassist?
So the red one is Ryan because it's red. And Steven is the one with the guitar, the one with the really weird ear. The one in front of the microphone. Yep, that's right.
Why'd you draw yourself so fat?
I don't know. I just did it like at the random.
You're like one of the skinniest artists of the Miami
Well,
scene.
technically, I gave myself a fat head, like a jawbreaker head. But yeah, we were talking about what to name it, and then we were all talking about how Steven's like the straightest one of the group. Ryan's like in between. Snyder's not gay, but he happily likes to act like it, and then I'm totally 100%. And then Steven did a calculation of the band and its gayness. So
that's what the number
we came up with
is?
37.5% straight.
Oh my God. I wish you would have titled it that. 37.5% straight.
So we put it in there. Oh, I peeked. I'm sorry. We
right.
put it in there as like a little joke, a little like insider for us. So that way nobody would really get it unless we told them. But that's it. That's the secret.
I would have never guessed that. I thought like, I don't know what I thought. You know, part of me was like, is that like a percentage of like how much each of them were involved in like the writing of the songs, or maybe
Nope.
that's the percent of the amount of songs that'll be in the full album?
No,
no, that's not.
We were just very playful. We just thought, why fucking not?
See, definitely, like, I think we're just, because it's been, you know, we've known each other since like 2013, 2014.
Pretty much.
And so, you know that on my end, we've been trying to make an album forever. We've had name changes, lineup, not since you've known me, not that many lineup changes, just the drummer.
I title certain bands, like, your band will be the band of 20 different names. And then there's another band that I met called Moonlight Sunrise. And their artists are always changing different like
members.
Bands. Not necessarily members, but they're like always starting different projects, right? So they call them the band of 20. 20 bands.
Yeah, right.
So yeah. You're the band of 20 names.
Right,
you're the band
of course.
20.
Hopefully Gray
20
Street
bands.
is the final name.
Hopefully.
I actually...
You have a podcast, so you can't...
Yeah, we have a podcast now, so it's kind of immortalized. I mean, when... did you see our second episode?
I didn't see it. I heard it.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Inside, he's like this.
But yeah, I mean,
Smart-ass
so
bitch.
we... This son of a bitch, I swear to God, one of these days. So we've stuck with Gray Street. And we're probably, since it has taken so long, we're just going to self-title the first album. But definitely, and this idea came from Pete, Definitely, we're gonna title an album. Did you just assume my genre? That's
Oh, wow.
definitely gonna be a title of an album.
That's great.
It is.
I love how playful we can get. Like we're in such a hot meme time. Like it's just everything. It comes off as a meme, and it's just it's. I love it when bands can play on that because it just tells you how you're serious about your music, but at the same time you're very playful. You get to have some fun.
To me, there's nothing more cringy than a band that takes themselves overly seriously.
Yes.
I'm not going to name any names as a specific band that I hate with all my heart. I'll tell you after the podcast. But that band, dude, we were playing a show, and this is a tangent. We were playing a show.
Take that tangent.
And we were like the band after this band or something, and the show was already kind of running 30 minutes late. This band played an extra 30 minutes.
Assholes.
After the person running it already told them that, no, that's your last song. And they just kept on playing. And the dude, the front man, was all like, oh, yo, we're playing. It was 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're playing super late, so you guys better get the fuck up.
Wow.
And it's like, that's not how you tell your audience to get up. Like, you can, I've seen Slipknot. I've seen Slipknot live. Mm-hmm. They'd go like, get the fuck up.
Yeah, but
that's
Slipknot.
That's Slipknot, first of all. They're big enough to allow that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also not when you just say get the fuck up, you're trying to hype up the audience. When you say, hey, we're playing late for you guys, get the fuck up, you just sound entitled.
Yeah.
That's not hype. That's, you're annoying me and you're taking time away. By the time we played, the only people there were our friends and family and the band that played just before us.
When other bands do that, I can't stand it. I don't like to be negative on other artists. I really don't.
I try not to.
But there are...
That's like literally the only band that I have a hate boner for.
There are bands and artists that I do not appreciate when they are overly... I'm not going to say overly nice, but they're to a point where you can tell they're faking it.
Yeah.
I hate that because it's not... I feel like you're trying to pander to me, and you're trying to, I don't know. I don't like. I know I'm a good person who detects fakeness. You know.
Right.
So when you're doing that thing like, oh my gosh, you guys, you're so great.
I'm so glad you're all here
you
tonight.
Do it in that voice where you know you're just being very nice.
Like, you can't take yourself too seriously, and you can't fake positivity either, because most people can sense that, and even if they're okay with that, they're not always going to be okay with that, because if there's ever a moment where that positivity breaks, everyone's going to just hate you, because you're not playing up the character.
You know how I always catch them when they do that? I will say something from a previous show, or I'll mention like a lyric of a song we didn't play, and I'll tell them, oh, that was this song. How'd you like that song? And they'd be like, it was great. I loved it.
It's the best song.
And I was just like, right. And I'm just in my head like,
you know what you should do?
That song.
You know what you should do? Take it one step further. Just make up a lyric on the spot.
Yes.
And say, what'd you think of that lyric? Just like, oh, that's a fantastic lyric.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, get the hell out of here.
Bitches.
Your fakeness. But we're not going to name any names.
Nope.
Yet. Once me and you were taken off, we're huge. Oh, the tea is going to spill in a very spectacular way.
It's a very small number. It's no more than 5. I don't even think it exceeds 5.
The band I just spoke about is literally the only band I hold disdain for. And 2 of the members, one of them was hot. So she gets a pass.
Okay.
But the other one, he was actually he was a nice front man. He was like, yo, thanks guys for being here. We're going to play one more song. And then it was the douchebag of the band that kind of ruined it for everybody else, who's like, woo, we're going to play another song. Oh, I will say though that the girl, she wasn't that great of a singer.
Oh.
She has potential though. That's the thing, is I can tell when a singer definitely has potential. Like, you can hear that they kind of know what they're doing. They just need more practice. Yeah. Including myself, because I actually don't like my voice.
Same. I really don't like it.
I love your voice, though.
Thank you. I love yours.
Thank you. We both hate Danny's voice, though. That guy sucks.
Piece of shit.
I was actually really surprised when I was really surprised when I heard him singing. Did you know he could sing when he was in your band?
So we heard him sing, and I was like in love. I was like, dude, you can sing songs that you want. And I'll be backup. I don't mind because I'll be honest. Like I don't always like to be the center of attention. I know the band is called Pandarama, but that was not my choice, to be honest.
Whose idea was that?
So when we were gonna do our first kind of official gig, my like the host was asking, what are we calling you? And I was like, oh, let's just merge our names. Panda. I think his name was still Chino something. I don't know. Our Instagram stuff,
right.
between me and Steven. And then Steven heard me say it, and he's like, what? No, fuck.
Panda
Just
Chino?
say Pandarama.
Panda Chino kind of sounds like a Starbucks drink.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was something like that.
I think it could have worked.
But
Pandorama is better.
Yeah, but I think it's just that Steven didn't want me, like, he knew how, because I'm a very social person. I knew everybody. I have a way with people. So he just figured that out. He's just like, just put your name. So we just went with Pandorama. But in our band, I'm very open about, who wants to make songs, who wants to make lyrics. If you come
100%.
up with something and you have an idea, let's do it. And if you want to sing, and then let's go ahead and do it. But I'm very, like, when I heard his voice, it was like, we could totally make that work. Yeah, and I was like, oh, he's so much better than me.
Sing?
Can Steven sing? Steven has a tune in there. I love Steven. Steven, we both know that you have a tune in there. If you're listening, I love you. Just know that I love you.
Would you say there's the potential of him being able to sing?
I think there could be.
If it's more, maybe if it's a simpler tune.
So I don't think necessarily,
and that's not degrading in any way.
Can't sing. I don't think anyone can't sing.
I think most people can.
I think that there's like a what do you call it? A range and also a style for them to sing.
Right. Like, for example, the Ramones. They're not great singers at all. They sing one note for most of their songs, but it works perfectly.
There's artists out there that I'm just like, bro, you can't sing that. But then there's like a certain style.
I'd argue
and a way that they can do something with their voice that makes it sound good.
Do you remember Early Bird?
It sounds familiar.
I think we both went to a show of theirs at some person's house. They used to play. They had songs like "Toys of Mass Destruction" and "Cooler."
Gosh, it's been so long since we've done backyard stuff.
But they ended up moving to Boston. I think is what happened to them.
I think I'll go to Boston, and they did.
And then they did. But their singer, their music was very reminiscent to me of like Sonic Youth, but like just the alternative rock part of Sonic Youth, not the noise rock part of Sonic Youth. And for anyone that doesn't know noise rock, that's not a diss. That's a genre.
That is
which
a
I'd be
genre,
interested
guys.
to write a song that uses that, but I would need it to be not intentional. It need to come out naturally, because anyone can just be like feedback time, and just leave their guitars recording.
Definitely.
But I don't want to do that. I want it to come naturally. So I guess I got to do drugs or something.
Do the good ones, not the ones that melt your brain.
But that's how I get noise. But Early Birds kind of reminded me of that, and in the same way, the singer, like, I wouldn't call him a great singer, but it fits perfectly for that kind of music. And I think it's only like 1 in 10 people, maybe less, are actually tone deaf. Mm-hmm. And I think as long as you're not tone deaf, you can sing. It's just what is your range.
Yeah, Steven's definitely not tone deaf.
Right. I don't think you can really play an instrument if you're tone deaf.
No,
because you would need to.
You can't. At least I don't think so.
At least, like, unless you memorize chords and notes. Like, if I memorized every chord on the guitar, which I know a lot of them, but if I memorize every chord, I don't need to know the tone. I just need to know what chords am I playing for this song, right?
Yeah.
So you could technically be tone deaf, but then you wouldn't be able to pay attention to when your guitar's out of tune, stuff like that. But let's move on to talking about what we were talking about before.
I totally forgot what we were talking about before.
We were going to get into 37.5, which was your first EP, I believe, right?
It was our first EP.
So tell us about Zong. We're going to go through all your songs since there's not that many of them.
So Steven actually wrote that one.
He wrote Zong.
Let's
get this out of the way. Is zombie a reference to drugs? Because I know sometimes it is.
No, it isn't actually.
Oh, okay, good.
So this is kind of like the tongue-in-cheek and Mimi thing. I'm just getting up and adjusting to make myself comfortable.
That's fine.
So yeah, we were watching The Walking Dead. Walking Dead was like up and popping. and he had just written like the whole thing together, and he's just like, I want to sing this song. So I think we added a little extra parts, and then I just started singing, and we chiseled it, as we say, and it just became that thing. And it was like a reference to, a person, of course. It's a reference to a person who is like a zombie, you know?
Right.
I'm trying to remember certain words because we haven't done that song in a minute.
And what's left of all of humanity, you indulge in your own vanity.
Yeah, so
It's just too easy these days just to give up on everything. But you chose to be a walker. Now everything... Yeah, now that I'm reading it, it is more obvious that it's a reference to The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I never watched... Dude, I was peer pressured into watching The Walking Dead because I just didn't want to watch it. And then they're like, dude, you gotta watch it. So I watched the first season. It was good, but I didn't care for it. And then they're like, oh... Well, first, my rule is 3 episodes for anything. Watch 3 episodes, I don't care. I'm not going to continue. I didn't care. I didn't watch it. And then it was Javi, I think, who kept being like, no, you got to watch. Not JT, Javi Guevara. He just kept going like, oh, no, you got to watch it. So I watched the whole first season. I thought it was great. Like, objectively, it's a great show. I didn't want to watch anymore. And then he's like, no, you got to keep watching it. And so I looked up reviews for season 2, and they said it was worse than season 1. I'm like, I'm not going to watch season 2 if it's worse than season 1, and I didn't care that much about season 1. But it's
slow.
I've heard. And I heard it's just trash now.
Yeah, it definitely teetered off the path, in my opinion.
But yeah, it's very clear to me after like actually looking at the lyrics.
Yeah. So it's Zong is just it's supposed to be fun and playful as well, while also talking shit about people.
That's the best part. Danny says he really doesn't write any of his songs from personal experience. I'm more 50-50 on it. Like a song.
Oh, you remember him talking about that?
Yeah, a song that we haven't released yet. I'll show it to you actually after because it doesn't have the drums yet, but it has all the instruments. He gets some exclusive access. But the song is called "Pretty," and that's actually, except for a few lyrics, it's mostly based off entirely like real shit.
Man, you know what I'm thinking?
What?
You could have put out Pretty first and then Woman. And then it would be Pretty Woman.
We're gonna on the album exclusive. We're gonna order it that way. We're gonna order it Pretty then Woman.
Nice. That's smart.
Yeah, we want to release Woman first because it was already done.
Yeah.
And actually, by the time Woman was finished recording last October, it took us forever to release it. Because there was something going on with our producer. Shout out to Akeem, by the way. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the... I'm anal about links. I put links to whatever I think is relevant.
I mean, that's what you do. You link things.
Some people are lazy. They don't link stuff.
Well, some people are bitches.
What I do like to listen back on the podcast and get the timestamps too.
Quick note. My favorite word is bitch, so you'll be hearing it a lot.
That is a good word.
It's just a great word. You know, there's nothing that cuts more deep than a perfectly timed bitch. You know, the power of the buh and the and the itch.
I feel the same way about the F slur.
It's true. It's true.
But we're not gonna say it.
I can say it.
You say it.
Faggot.
I'm gonna censor that.
You can't say that. That's our word.
You can't say that. That's our word.
Mikey's giving me that look like, I don't know if I should put it in there.
No, we're gonna leave it in. I'm not gonna edit anything here because now it's not on us. It's on you.
That's right. I said it, y'all. Find them torches.
Get them torches, baby. So next in the song list is Justice and Chaos. What's this one about?
So that's actually the song that kind of, in my opinion, started it all. Was
it the first lyrics you wrote?
This is the third set of lyrics I wrote, but it was the most impactful because that's when I was going through the thing I said in the beginning, the big time. It was such a stressful, emotional time at that point. And I just remember just coming up with it, and I wanted to have this very dark, edgy, Evanescence kind of esque vibe, but at the same time have a very more positive message, and it is meant to be positive. I don't think people grasp it, but it is. It's
very poetic.
It's hear me now, hear me out, hear me out. Great monsters, tell a tale as we break through the veil. There's a great chance that no one will make it as we ride along the firestorms from hell. Of course, referencing, a lot of people won't get through these tough times. And these tricksters, I'm trying to remember.
They pray for our failure.
They pray for our failure as
throwing maggots around
there you
our
go.
open flesh wounds.
Sometimes when you don't sing your
the chaos surrounding us.
Yeah, we'll still brave on and make it out home soon. So
yeah, that is a hopeful message.
That's supposed to be like, times are tough, and this is like a specific message to myself.
This is relevant now.
It is. It is very relevant.
I mean, it's relevant at all times, to be honest.
But it's supposed to be a song where, I was kind of telling myself, you're in a very tough time. You're in a shitty situation. Things aren't always going to pan out for you, but you'll rise up. We'll get through it. It's chaotic, but you're gonna get through it.
The title itself is a positive. It's a justice in chaos. That's positive in and of itself.
Yeah, it's like you're going to find peace. You're going to find justice in this chaos. Everything's gonna work out your way. Right now, it seems unfair, but it'll get there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. These lyrics could fit in like a Dragon Force song.
Man, those lyrics can fit in a bunch of songs, or even a bunch of.
Oh, holy night bestowed my sweet suffering. Like it's very. I really, really like. It's like very poetic. Like
yes,
I've tried to write lyrics like that, and then I read them like this sucks. I'm just gonna write like how I always write.
I also had this idea when I was creating it of having like this medieval, circus-esque kind of
it has that tempo
vibe, and at the beginning it was supposed to be like dun 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 dun.
But it has that tempo throughout the song.
Exactly. So I wanted to have that kind of like welcome to this extremely rock medieval circus dark circus kind of vibe to it. And I feel like we succeeded on that wholeheartedly.
I really like I'm not here just to suck your cock
just
because you're the guest, but I'm on it. I mean, maybe after we cut off the recording
I did hear the last couple podcasts, so I know.
I mean, you are on my list.
I'm the panda that he has been speaking about.
Yes, this is the one we referenced in the first episode.
But you also said that someone else was on the list. Somebody was apparently higher than me, so...
Did I say he was higher?
I think so.
I mean, he probably is.
I mean, just the fact
if
that
it's
he's on
Pete,
the list,
then yeah, I'm sorry if it is.
Well,
I mean, there's a number one on my list, which is Xavier, and he's been my best friend since high school.
Well, this is going to turn into a Scott Pilgrim versus the World situation.
My 50 if I were gay boyfriends. That's a longer title.
That's a very long title. That's a song title.
Oh, if I were gay boyfriend list. That would be like the if I were gay would be in parentheses, and then it would say boyfriend list. That could be a title to a song.
That is
very
a great
easily.
title. I'm taking it. No.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait, I can't. I am gay.
Oh.
Fuck. Okay, you can have it.
Yeah, we'll tab it. Or you can just make Steven sing it.
I don't think he'll be down for that.
But when you were saying earlier that like if anybody wants to sing, if anyone wants to write a song, we kind of run like Javi originally. I don't know if you remember our song. It's Conflicted. He's supposed to sing it.
Goes.
That's the one that goes I wanna go back now. I wanna go back now.
Yes.
And start over again. He's supposed to sing that, but when we were recording, he kind of like didn't like the way his voice sounded, which I can totally understand that, and he kind of backed out from singing it. So I sing it on the recording, but playing live, it's very hard for me to do my fills and sing it. So live, he still sings the chorus.
Anybody who plays an instrument and sing, I wish I could do what you guys do, because it takes time for me to even kind of sing a song and remember lyrics and move the way that I do up on stage. It's just really hard to focus.
I find it hard to like sing without my instrument. Like I would be scared to play, and I don't have my instrument. I'm gonna have to use my body now.
Would you say that? And I'm pretty sure you would. Singing is the second nature for you rather than or is it the other way around?
Guitar?
Yeah, guitar is more of like before singing.
To me, like, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I guess my question is, would you say that playing the guitar is first for you before singing?
Like
Like,
in my priority.
Would you play the guitar before singing? Like, would you just be like, I'm gonna play guitar?
Oh yeah,
before
well
I
that's how the
just
band
sing
went
the song?
originally. I wasn't a singer originally.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I've always liked, I think most people like singing, but like I that role was kind of put upon me because when it was just me and Ariel
Yes, but you also
couldn't
said
sing.
that you, when Danny joined, that you also thought, you felt threatened.
I did feel threatened. That's true.
But that means that you really loved singing.
I do very much love singing. I just
So
don't like my voice.
So I wonder now, would you say that you would prefer to play the music, like the instruments, before singing?
I'd say I still do, because to me, I really like that feeling of like, especially with the guitar, when I'm singing a song, like when I'm writing a song, like this is what I did for Pretty. I actually discovered the harmonies, not by recording on Audacity and trying to find the harmonies that way. I sang and I tried to find the harmonies on my guitar. And then I sang on Audacity to see if it worked. But that's, to me, the guitar is really where it all comes from. But I do love singing. There's so many singers that, like, I really would love to one day have the money to get like good classes and really try to
same.
expand my,
That's the
like,
goal.
because I want to try and expand my range just a little bit more. Because me and Danny in the last episode, we were talking about our ranges. I discovered my lowest range, I think my lowest range was like a B2 or something like that. And my highest was a B2. I don't remember the numbers. Forget it.
That's okay. I
We'll
have
talk
no
about
idea what
this.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, B2 is basically like, if I can grab my guitar here. So
I'm just gonna grab a guitar here.
So, like, this is the same octave as this, but they have their own numbers as to how they go. But, like, but I did, like, as I said in the last episode, my highest note is, if you want to find that, that's in I Like It by DeBarge, and my lowest note is in Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. And that's pretty much my range.
Ring of fire.
Ring
That's how
of
low I can
fire.
go. I can't go any more.
Yeah, if I
lower
go
than
lower,
that.
it's just vocal. It's just vocal fry at that point. But let's talk about Sinful Tragedy.
So that's actually the second song I wrote. Sinful Tragedy.
This one's a lot more somber.
This one, okay, so this song, I have a love-hate with it now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I don't know why. I would love to re-record it and just redo it differently. But I don't know. Something about the way that it's just a love-hate thing that I have with it. But this song is it's probably one of the first songs where it's about a situation that happened. It's about a former lover, where it was a very weird situation where we wanted to be with each other, but they were with someone else, and I did my best to respect boundaries, but when those boundaries crossed, they were supposedly in between a breakup or whatever, and they just couldn't commit. So at the end of the day, it was just like, okay, well, that's what it is. So that's what that song is about. It's specifically in that line. I think it's in the second one. It's just, my darling, something about choose him over him. I forget. It's been so long. Like I said, I have a love-hate with that song.
Right, I get you.
But yeah, that song is about that kind of situation, and I honestly, I may have that love-hate relationship with that song, but I am very happy that I wrote that song, because when you write out, music, about what your situation is, and I have to say, I have to give credit to Taylor Swift, because I pretty much picked that up from her, between her and Haley Williams.
Yeah.
And it really is a great sense of relief when you can put your kind of story out there in a way for people to kind of hear it and see how you feel and kind of understand it, but also relate to it.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, a lot of my songs, for example, it's like I don't write them from personal experience because I haven't had that many personal experiences. Like, for example, actually, like, well, I was going to say Melody, but Melody, I wrote that in the perspective of a crush that Javi had.
Mm-hmm.
So I was writing it from his perspective. But sometimes I write these songs and I'm like, "Oh, you cheated on me and this and that, you dumb bitch." I've never had the opportunity to be cheated on, thankfully.
Thankfully.
In a way.
I haven't either, thankfully. Not that I know of, but thankfully I have never been cheated on. So
Right.
I think we're lucky in that aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
It must be devastating. I know it could be devastating.
I know,
I've seen it firsthand.
especially if, depending on the way it happens. Like, if straight up, if I were to be cheated on, I would hope I would learn from the person before I learn from anybody else.
Yeah.
Because I've been in situations where I had a friend and they cheated on someone, and then his girlfriend came up to me and asked me directly, and I had warned him before. I said, "Look, you need to tell her if she asks me, I'm not gonna lie, because she's also my friend." It was very, very messy, and like the look on her face was like, yeah, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
I had a friend who, and we'll get back to
Right.
what we were talking about, but like I had a friend who, I remember we were in class, and she looked at her phone and started bawling her eyes out, and she left, and I was like, oh no. So she asked me to come and talk with her. She was like crying, and she had told me that she found out her boyfriend had been cheating on her, that someone, let her know, and that he had been texting her. And I was just so devastated for her. But you never forget, seeing that reaction. And I remember seeing it, it's like, I never want to be in the place where you are. I just wanted to be I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to beat the guy up for her. And it's just, it must be totally devastating because she's such a sweet person. And I never know how people can cheat on people like that.
Yeah. But it's like, it's kind of like, I think there's a level of immaturity in your own, like, emotional immaturity and, knock on wood that I don't end up cheating on someone myself, because you never know what you might do in the future. And I hope I never cheat on someone, but I just feel like if you even have the urge, having the urge to cheat on someone's not the same as doing it, obviously, because we're still human.
Yeah.
But if you get to that point where you're texting that other someone, and it's at the point that you're texting someone else, you really need to just sit down and have a talk with your significant other, so you can talk and just be honest and say, do we need a break? Do we need to break up? Yeah. Like, what's going on here? Do we need maybe we need to spend more time together? Like, you need to really figure that out.
Yeah.
Because it's better to just end it than to end it after cheating on them.
Yeah. And that's just go back quickly to Sinful Tragedy. That's basically what that song is about too, just like, I don't want to be a thing in between this relationship either. It's just like, end it or, don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, go back to the song.
Yes. The next. Your
song.
My song.
Yeah.
Which one?
Because
I'm like, which one?
I know we got
my brain's
into such
like
a tangent. But it was about you don't really talk about personal experiences.
Oh yeah, to me it's 50-50. It's a personal, like, all my songs are from personal, real emotions I've had, but I tell the story from an experience that I have never had. So the first song I ever wrote was called Infamous, and it's an instrumental piece. I think I had lyrics for it, but I swear to God, if I ever look at those lyrics, I might just kill myself from the cringe.
In the first one.
Dude, I have a phone in my room that has 70 songs that I wrote in high school. I wrote 70 songs in high school. I'm sure 90% of them are terrible, but I do want to eventually get a battery. I mean, I could just buy the battery, but I just never do. But if I ever do buy the battery and the phone still works and I can turn it on and get those songs, I'm confident in myself that at least some of those songs will be viable. I remember one of the songs was like I was really into 2112 and to what's that song by Green Day that's like long? It's
You said Green Day, and I thought of Black Parade, which is
no,
not
that's
Green
Chemical
Day.
Romance. I'm the son of rage. Jesus of Suburbia. So those kind of long story songs, I was really into that idea. So I started writing out. It was like a script of lyrics for like a multi-part song. Never went anywhere because I couldn't think of where to take the story next.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say is that one of the first songs I wrote was called "Feel This Way," and it was originally written as a love song to this girl I had a crush on, and then I ended up confessing to this girl, and she turned me down. And those emotions ended up transforming the song into a song. I was like, no. The song ended up being, the story of the song is a guy who's going out with this girl, and his friends are telling them that she's bad. He finds out that she's cheating, and in the final chorus, the guy's moved on. So it's a song we haven't played in forever, but I still remember it. I remember quite a few of our older songs, and hopefully none of our really older songs are going to be in the album. Probably the oldest song on this album is like one of the first 3 songs I wrote, which is Surfing in the Sand, which people love that song.
Yeah.
And that's a song I'm actually very proud of.
Just like, oh,
like that's like, I mean, it's very simple, but I think that's what makes it effective. It's a very like easy song, and I think it'll be great that it's easy to learn it too.
Which is that? Is that the one that goes da 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 da?
It's the one that goes da 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 da.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. I hope I'm not talking about myself too much. I don't mean to.
No, it's okay. So the journalist in me tends to kind of like to have other people talk. So it's always weird when I'm talking about myself, because then I feel like I'm talking about myself way too much.
Yeah.
But I go ahead, ask your questions.
So next, let's talk about what I would say is my favorite song on this album, The Miami Weather.
The Miami.
I talk about the song all the time. I sing it all the time. Not all the time, but whenever I do sing your songs, that's the one that I first go to. I'm like, that song's great. I like, if we ever play together at a show and we decide we want to do a song together, this is the song. I want to sing it with you one of these days.
Sweet.
The
It's
Miami
a funny
Weather.
Song.
It is funny, but I really love
fun song.
it. The chorus is so. The chorus, I think, is the best part of the song. The she's so irrational. That's the main chorus, right? But then the post chorus, I guess you call it, would be she's so irrational.
I know, it's so much fun, and I think in the back vocals you can hear our friend Clara Hernandez.
You know what? That's the question I was gonna ask. Who does the backing vocals on your songs?
She does it. I know that. I think it's me, Steven, and Clara. In the back, I believe it's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Clara. I remember that we did it with her, but it's her background vocals in there. I love that part. I love that harmony. So when I do songs, probably my favorite thing to do is harmonies. Once we finish doing songs, once we've completely written them and they're ready to record, even before that, I love harmonies. I love coming up with the harmonies. 100%. So this one doesn't have many harmonies for the songs, but when we got into the next song, in the next album, I was like, let's do harmonies and little backup vocals.
Let's harmony this shit up.
Because I love playing with that stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I was when we finally did merge, Danny being in the band, the ideas in my head for harmonies, explosion.
That's how I felt when he was on there.
Now
when he was with us. Now he's yours. No, fuck you, Danny.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. Fuck you, Danny.
You little bitch.
Stupid little bitch.
You know, it's so funny. I told myself after I heard the last episode, because he was so nice about, like when he left, and was like, oh, I'm gonna be a bitch. I'm gonna tell a whole story how he was just a diva. And he was an a-hole, and he left us because he said I sucked. Yeah, that's
what?
it. No.
This tea is really spilling on this one.
Pour that tea. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Danny.
Yeah, Danny's a cool guy.
Silence. No, but yeah. So I really love harmonies.
Yeah, like that's the reason why the Eagles are probably one of my favorite bands. Do you listen to a lot of the Eagles?
I don't listen to a lot of the
I'm gonna show you
Eagles,
some of the harmonies that they got in some of their songs because everybody knows Hotel California.
of course,
Great song,
but there's more.
not even in their top 10 in my opinion.
Of course,
They've got great songs.
Fans will always find songs that are not meant to be on like a top 10s list.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're so mainstream that it's just like they're the single songs, they're the radio songs, right?
And there's obviously a place for them, otherwise they wouldn't be such big hits.
So there's always those fans that are like assholes, where they're just like, oh, you're not a real fan. But in a sense, there's a point to it because if you are a big fan, you listen to everything, and then you find that one song that really is like so underrated by everybody else.
Like Rage Against the Machine is like among my top 5 bands, and they're like literally one of the like what got me into playing guitar in the first place was Guitar Hero 3, and it was Tom Morello that got me into the guitar. When I saw him doing all those crazy things, I was like, oh my god, I need to do those crazy things. I don't really. Probably the closest thing to crazy things I do in a song is what you hear in Woman with the loud ding sound, which they do by striking against the I don't know. Okay, I'm not a great technician when it comes to guitar. It's the head. It's on the headstock. It's this part right here.
It's the little thingy that holds.
It's where the strings connect to the pegs.
The holds the thingies together.
The thingy together.
The thingies are the things that make the guitar go brum.
Brum.
So yeah.
No, you can't describe guitars that way. Haha, guitar strings go brum.
We have a D&D character named Bram.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I've never gotten. I mean, I played D&D once, but I haven't actually gotten to sit down and play a full game of it.
It's so much fun.
I always want.
You have to have a great like a DM for it, though.
I've been in the DMs.
Oh.
But no, yeah, harmonies like the Beach Boys is also a great example of good harmonies. The Beatles too. Obviously, they have great harmonies.
Beatles.
What would you say is your favorite? Like, what's a group that you consider high rank when it comes to like vocal harmonies and stuff?
Vocal harmonies. Oof.
Or along with that question, who would you say like singing wise really inspires you? Like I know artist wise, Hayley Williams really inspires you, but is she also your main source of inspiration?
She is.
Singing?
My favorite singer is Amy Lee of Evanescence. I just think her voice is like so unique that no matter who copies or tries to copycat it, there is no one who can do it
Except me.
Except you, of course. You're
Here's
the only
my
one
cover.
who can
Bring me to life.
bring me.
I'd be impressed by myself.
I
Like,
know.
Wow.
I'd be impressed too. If you could do it, I'm just like, wow. But no, I've resonated so much with Hayley Williams because she is like a person who I think the same way when it comes to music and maturity and also the experience. Like, she's even said herself, if she wanted to be famous, she could, like, in an instant. So she refuses a lot of collaborations. She sticks to her guns when it comes to her creativity, and she goes with it. She just released her own solo album, but it's so different. And you know, it still has, for me, it still has a little bit of element of that Paramore, but more unique to her style. And it's just the way that she plays with songs, you know, and the way that it's just, I can hear, like, her the last album that Paramore had, After Laughter, is kind of the inspiration to 216 in the sense of that I want something kind of like, or wanted something kind of like, you know, it's kind of got this dark undertone, but it's also peppy and happy.
Isn't what she released after Laughter her solo album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Hayley's
First solo album.
After Laughter was the latest for the Paramore album. Why I really love that album is that it has this very happy-go-lucky punk pop sound
but
with a little bit of 80s, but the lyrics are so dark. Like Fake Happy, what's the song that I really freaking love?
Which one is it?
Rose Colored Boy. Just Let Me Cry a Little Bit Longer. Oh man, that song is so great.
I really like. Is it the same track? It's the one that goes, "If I smile through my teeth,
Won't you believe me? That's Fake Happy.
Fake Happy." Dude, that one's great. I'm
low.
gonna be honest with
It's-
you. I do like that album, but to me, it's very top heavy. What I mean by that is like it's the first tracks that are really strong, and then the second half, I feel, even though good, isn't as strong as the first half.
It isn't. It really isn't. It's I've always noticed that Paramore tends to have their strongest songs in the first half of the album.
Yeah, and I get that mindset.
Yeah.
Because that's what was really going to sell
even
it.
in Haley's latest, she has the strongest songs at the beginning, and there's like one or two towards the end that are really great. But still, I appreciate every song. I listen to every song and any song.
Right.
But for the sake of Haley and Paramore, because I'm so I'm so used and always listening to those lyrics and so impressed by everything in those songs, and I resonate with them. I pay attention so much and I listen and I think, how relatable it is and how much it makes sense, and it's just that's something. All of my writing goes. It's like between Haley Williams writing and Jack White's style, because that's another person who inspires
Jack White's
me.
really
Jack White, I really
That's a
love
big
Jack
inspiration
White.
for Avi.
White Stripes. I mean, it's just so. Like, if I could mesh all three of those artists with Amy Lee, and create something with all of like them, something, a sound that kind of you can see the inspiration between all of them, I would I would love to find that balance.
Right.
But yeah, that's my songwriting and vocal inspiration is Haley, because of just the combination that it gets, or that it has,
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I totally like Haley Williams is definitely one of my favorite like frontmen for a band.
Mm-hmm. And that's also the other thing that inspired me to be more, let go of the mic stand and travel with Mike.
Yeah.
So I've watched her do performances as well, and
she's very mobile.
Exactly, and that's something that I try to be on stage in just like my own way, but I love that fun energy.
I would say my favorite album from Paramore is the one before After Laughter, the self-titled one.
Really, Paramore.
I really
Paramore's
love
Paramore.
Paramore's Paramore. Because as much as I do love all their early stuff and everything up to that one, and if you disagree, that's fine.
Oh no, I don't disagree.
But I think,
I don't
what they were
disagree.
really to me, Paramore. It's always been Paramore because that's the band. But to me, they were just kind of along with the times sound-wise. And when they released that self-titled album, that sounded like what I was like, that's Haley Williams, that's Paramore. That's their like original sound. And then After Laughter was the development on top of that.
So the way that it works is that their albums are stages. So you have the first album, which is like their, we're Paramore. Then you have Riot, which is like the album that put them on the map.
Yeah, that's their
right?
big
That
hit.
is their teenage angst album to the
Right.
T, right? So then they had the kind of like drama and the success. So Brand New Eyes is detailing, the time that they've had so far. And, they've gone through turmoil and drama, and they were already thinking about giving it up. And that's that album. Then you have the whole drama that happened after that album with the Farrow brothers. And you have the self-titled album, where the self-titled album is them saying, we are moving on. We are growing up. We are changing. We are becoming adults. And we're changing our sound a little bit because we are ready to move on and evolve. So that's what I loved about that album when it came out. I played that thing on repeat.
Still Into You is one of the most sweetest songs.
Yes.
Like, and I got a mad sweet tooth. That song is sugar sweet. When you
Yes,
hear
it is
like
it is the ultimate
just being
pop.
still into you, it's so good.
Oh,
I
and-
love it.
But my favorite song from that album is oh my goodness, I'm
For
trying to
me, it's
remember.
fun. What is it?
It's the
Ain't It Fun.
Ain't It Fun is the like funkiest song for me, poppy and funky, because that bass line
Yeah.
is great.
I would love to cover that.
I would
just
love to cover that.
play
Let's
it.
cover that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're gonna close this show with a cover. I mean,
And then one that doesn't get credit is Part 2. Part 2 is
That's a good
actually
one,
really
too.
fun. Because it's the second part to what's the song? What a shame we all remain. I forget the name of that song.
yeah.
But don't call me a fake fan. I forget things.
Now is good too.
Now is good.
It has
Now
an
is
interesting
underrated.
guitar riff.
Now is underrated. I don't think it was the powerful single to start with, but I don't care.
Yeah.
That's
Still
their
Into
choice.
was definitely the single to start with.
Yeah. But yeah, and then After Laughter is basically coming to grips with, you're sad.
Right.
You're tired of putting this face of, I'm okay, everything's great, everything's dandy. We're all happy and go lucky. It's them saying, "No, fuck it. I'm sad. I'm mad."
Yeah,
I'm
I just thought of
upset.
this now. After Laughter, like we said, it's very poppy, very upbeat, but the lyrics are where like it's showing the true emotion. I kind of feel the same way about Coldplay. A lot of their songs are very happy sounding, but then you listen to what he's talking about, and it's like, oh,
And that's the
it's
thing
depression
about
time.
lyrics, and songwriting. You as a creator, you're creating something for you. Of course, you're creating it for your fans and for people to listen. You're creating the art, but you want people to kind of listen to what you're talking about,
right?
and kind of learn and understand.
Like the music is for everybody,
Mhm.
but the lyrics are for the people that are gonna understand you.
Yeah, there's artists out there that do it for the money, that do it for like the beat and all that stuff. And I get it. It's the hustle.
Yeah.
But I appreciate artists that put time and into their writing, and they're very structural about how they do things and inventive on their words and express themselves using the sounds and the words. It's just, I love it. Okay, next. Sorry, we went into a thing.
So let's talk about Interstellar Roadtrip. Now I'll say, I love every song on this album. This is probably my least favorite, if I'm being honest. Like, this is probably the one I listen to the least.
Everyone's fucking critic.
I do like the whistles, like the intro. And I do like it overall, but it probably is the one I listen to the least.
So that is this song is probably our second song writing together. I just remember Steven coming to me and he's just like, I want to write. I was asking, like, okay, tell me, Steven, what do you want to write about? Like, if you could write about anything, what do you want it to be about? What is the significance? And then he just came up with, I want to write about an alien lost in the world and he doesn't belong here. And I'm just like, okay. Interesting. So then
kawaii.
he just started going with, he just started writing a guitar, and I was just like, keep repeating it, and then we just came up with it, and it's just meant to be like a lighthearted, chill song.
Where'd the whistles come from? Where did that idea come from?
I think it was during when we were writing. He did something, and I was just like, can you do that again, that sound? And then he was like, what? And I was just like, it was like, because I couldn't make a strumming sound.
Right.
And then eventually it was just like, I think we should keep it, and we called it the whistle song for the longest. All of our songs have like second names, so like
I know that feeling. Trust me.
Yeah. So
What I Want is called Pete's song because Pete wrote it.
I think Justice in Chaos is called Justice, but also the other song. So yeah, it's fun.
It's a great album. It's a strong start for an EP.
I hope so.
It's something I feel like a lot of people, when they write their first EP, they just like, they either just release the songs they first released without actually like being like, are these songs like good enough? Because like, God, if we have our first EP that we recorded with JT and Steven, and dude, those songs, like, I like them, but they're not strong enough, man.
No.
Like, some of them were. Definitely.
Steven will definitely tell you that he wishes that album was better. He really doesn't
What,
like it.
37.5?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every band will have that, but I think a
Everyone
lot of
has
those songs. If you, I don't imagine you would remake all of them.
I would love to remake some of them.
Which ones, if you were gonna, is the plan next another EP, or do you want to work towards a full album next?
That's a mystery for everyone.
Damn it.
We won't say anything.
I'm gonna ask you after the show. But
I would love.
Which ones would you say you would want to remake?
I would love to remake Justice and Chaos, and Sinful Tragedy. Just because I feel like Sinful Tragedy is due for a better update.
Right.
And I think my vocals then weren't as strong as they are now.
Right.
I think we can play with it a little bit more. Also, fun fact about that album: when we were starting to record it, Snyder had only been with us for 2 weeks. As soon as he joined our band, we were just like, "All right, so we're recording in 2 weeks," and he was like,
Same thing happened with Raph when we recorded The Right Way.
Yeah.
He had just joined the band, and we're just like, hey, glad you joined us. We're getting to work right now because we've been together for multiple years, and we're getting to work right now. And the same thing with Oscar. Oscar was basically like, Oscar joined. Next week, we were recording Woman.
I'm still very proud of that we did it, because for the most part, we've done everything ourselves.
It's good. I really do think I keep moving away from the mic because I'm an idiot. But I do think it's a good, strong start.
Yeah.
So your second EP was an acoustic EP.
Yes.
Which I would like the idea of doing one. But
I think
these acoustic versions of the songs, would you say if you play them with the full band, like electric and everything, you'd play it the same way, or would you change like tempo?
Oh no, they definitely would change.
Okay.
They would definitely change.
Because that's like kind of like the same idea, like if we're gonna play like Woman acoustic, we're gonna slow it down.
Yeah.
And it's gonna probably be more like a lounge type song.
I mean, this EP was kind of like where we wanted to do something a little different.
I love this, by the way.
That artwork, by the way, if anyone
this is a picture or
going
artwork?
to see it, it's an art. It's a picture, but it's an artwork, like it's been edited. You know.
Is this someone?
That is somebody. I don't know who that is, but it was
Let's just
done
say
by.
Steve.
It was done by Chloe, the one I mentioned earlier, from Elysewood. Go check Elysewood out as well. She did that. We went to her and we were like, we want to do something that kind of, sends a kind of mixed message, which is called mixed messages, and kind of shows like a kind of like chaotic but smooth kind of thing, where it just shows that imagery of a mixed message. And she did a great job. And she played with it, and she got creative with it, and I was happy with the album art. You can even see it in like the font.
Right.
So yeah, but it was meant to be just kind of like something soft and nothing really too extravagant. We kind of wanted to test the waters with some acoustic sounds. But yeah, these songs are meant to be, higher, stronger, and with a full band. So maybe they'll happen soon.
I'd say probably my favorite song from this one is "Sweet Daughter of Blood."
Sweet Daughter of Blood.
First of all, I love the title.
I can't wait. If anyone has seen our show,
I've seen you perform it.
Yeah, Sweet Daughter of Blood is probably one of my favorite songs to play, because it's the most energetic I get to be, and the most like fun with my vocals.
It's the most distorted I hear you sing.
Yeah,
like it's like when I heard you singing it, I remember the very first time I saw it. I think I was watching you guys with JT, and I was like, this sounds like a song that I would sing. Because it's so much more heavy than what like most people I'd say would be used to for your sound.
It is. I told myself I want to write something that is,
and it's
fast.
Super soft on this album too.
Yeah, I wanted to do something that felt rock band, and I wanted to go all out, and I wanted to test my vocals. I wanted to make sure people heard the anger and rawness of what I was singing.
Is this based on a real thing? You wrote the lyrics.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I am very happy to talk about this song.
Okay, let's get into it.
A little bit of a backstory. I have a step sibling. I am not afraid to talk about this step sibling. She's a bitch. She almost destroyed our family. And she was a horrible person. She did things that are borderline horrible. And I hate her. So I wrote this song about her. And it is clearly about her because it is Sweet Daughter of Blood. That she is a daughter from my person side. I'm not going to say which parent of the family.
Right.
But she sucks. And she deserves every word that I say in this song about her. So point us out our favorite songs. And actually, if you go by the lyrics, it's basically the story of what she, of her with us, and it's disguising your lies with those pretty eyes. Oh boy, what a joy just to have you around. And it's basically how manipulative she was when she was with us, and she did a bunch of very shitty things, and she played like she was this innocent person.
What happened to this character?
She gone. I don't give a fuck what happened to her. She out of our lives. I could care less what happens to her, but I can say that my mother is the hero of the story. You don't really see it.
Right.
I don't really express it in the song, but I explicitly saw right through her eventually, and like that was it. Once I saw what was happening,
She's gone. Is that side of the family also gone, or is it specifically her?
It's just her.
Okay.
It's just her.
You're okay with the rest of the family?
I'm good with the rest of the family. It's just her. She's a horrible person.
Older or
She
younger?
deserves to be older,
Oh.
and she deserves to be in hell. And if you listen to the song and read the lyrics, you'll be like, yeah, fuck that girl. We can tell you're very angry. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, you're like, literally, in hell you will stay.
burn away.
To burn away. I love that song a lot. Now, Toxic.
Toxic is along the lines.
This is not a cover of the Britney Spears song.
This is not a cover of the Britney Spears
How
song.
awesome would it be if you started the album and it's just with the guitars?
Yeah. The odds of making it. What?
Making.
So yeah, this song is actually.
I think it's very like, when it starts up, it sounds very different from anything from the first album. So when I first started up your EP, I was like, this one's really interesting, like sounding wise, like the guitars. How many guitars are layered on this one? Because it sounds like a lot.
Oh man, I'm not sure. Usually Steven does the mixing and the producing, but he really played a lot with these songs because he wanted to add a little bit of a more what's the word I'm looking for?
Ambient?
Here? Not just that.
Because I feel that way about the album. It's very ambient.
I definitely wanted him to add. I mean, this is the song that I was like, I want harmonies like to the T. And he. Oh my god, I always do this. I always forget the words to express something. It's like oh gosh. Not metronome. That's not it. Not strings. We're so close to the word I'm looking for. It'll get to after we finish it. I'll remember. But he wanted to add a little bit more of something different from the last one, something to show that we've kind of grown a little bit since then. And the song is basically based on a relationship that didn't work. And
real story as well.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a relationship that tried to work out, but in the end couldn't work out, no matter how much we tried. So, yeah, this could be toxic, the memories, or the
grievances
we hold.
This is Toxic, the story left untold.
Yeah, it almost sounds bad when like the lyricist doesn't remember their their songs.
Hey, I totally relate, dude. From the shows you've seen, I forget shit.
Oh,
I just
definitely.
I'm just gonna repeat the first verse.
Yeah.
Different lyrics, whatever.
Yeah, and it's just I love I think my favorite part is the bridge, just because it's it's the part that kind of just like, just says like, this is it. Like, we have to accept this. It's like these memories made, we'll have to leave them where they stay. Our troubling souls will have to hold out on their own, and then believe in the life you're wanting to leave behind. It's kind of a way of me saying, just like, we'll have those memories, but we got to leave them back there. We
Right.
could still be friends. We had this moment in time, but
So
we're
the
not
song
gonna
is
work
like kind
out.
of like we need to break up
Yeah,
to save
exactly
what's left of our relationship.
Yeah, so it's just it's meant to be something.
It
where
could
it's
be
just like,
toxic.
yeah, I mean, things it was toxic,
Right.
and we had to accept that it wasn't gonna work out, and we had to just finish before we made it worse. Powerful things.
Powerful. I will say that's probably the one that made me feel the saddest
Yeah.
in a way.
Which one?
Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like hearing it like this could be like just I could really sense like the sadness in that one. Like it's but I mean it is a positive message. It's saying like we can it's kind of like it's just saying like we can still hold on to this, but we need to move past
Exactly.
what we're at right now.
Yeah, so
So-
it's just I loved writing that song. Well, it was a little bit of a hassle. I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Mhm.
We had been trying so hard. Like, I think it was Ryan who came up with, basically kind of the bass line for that song. And then we had been trying so hard to find how to sing it, and it was getting on our nerves. We were all getting on each other's nerves. We were so angry one day, and then we just like took a break. And then we started playing again, and I just remember I had lyrics that I wrote before, and I just started singing them with this song,
Right.
and I adjusted it because I remember this song was important to me when I wrote it,
Yeah.
and it worked. It was great.
So Someone Save Me. Is that another one you wrote?
That is.
So this album's all you.
This album is all me. I wrote pretty much all the songs for this one.
What's this one about besides
Um,
needing to be saved?
This one requires a little bit of context, so you might, as I find the story here, because it's based on an actual story that happened.
Mhm.
It's,
We can just edit out this far.
yeah, of course. I know how edits work.
But then we'll release just the part of you being like, We'll just release that on a separate file. Nice little
Alright.
10-second clip.
All right, so this is the context of this story. I wrote this song from how angry I was. I don't know if you heard about this, but it was a woman called Michelle. A girl called Michelle Carter. She basically let her boyfriend commit suicide. His name is Conrad Roy. It's the story of he called her saying that, he was going to kill himself, and he was going to kill himself by suffocating with carbon monoxide, by leaving his car and everything.
Mhm.
Long story short, he texted her, and she goaded him to do it, basically.
Was
He
this,
had,
was this a national story or was
this
it
was
local?
a national story.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, it was a big story because, he was reaching out to her. At one point, he was rethinking it, and she basically, she didn't exactly say it like this, but basically in her message, she was just like, "Don't be a pussy and just do it. You're just being a pussy." And then he went through with it, so he killed himself. And I was really pissed at that because, as somebody... it was his girlfriend. That's right. So, yeah, I thought, like, somebody really trusted you, and you just said, just kill yourself. Don't back out. Just do it. I took that very hard. So, this song is basically, Someone Save Me. you know, the whole point of the lyrics is just like I'm trying to reach out to somebody. I'm asking for help, and I need somebody to help me. I need you to be that hero that saves me. And it's very apparent in, I think, the second verses.
In the second verse,
Yeah, it's
is it "Can you taste the madness in the air," or is that the chorus? It's been a while since I heard the song. I'm sorry.
It's been
I
a while
needed to
since
do
I sang the
research.
song.
Need a research.
I need to research my own songs, man.
Is it give me a reason to stay? Why shouldn't I throw it all away?
It's actually, instead of you all just standing there, show me here and now that you really care. Prove yourself to me. That is supposed to be the part of like, don't just sit there and watch me suffer.
Right.
You know, that is the part that resonates with the story of what happened. It's just like I'm reaching out for help. This is a cry for help. Make it better. Help me. Right? Because that's what I'm expecting you to do. Take my hand and help me. So that song is really super personal to me, just like Sweet Daughter. But in the sense of like, you know, we need to help people who have mental health problems and are reaching out. And if you don't help them, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think so. You know, I hope other people agree, but you know, we
or
can't
at least
just,
if you don't feel like you're capable of, try and get them.
you know,
help.
try and get them help. Call somebody. You know, be that person. You know, be that hero. And that's what Someone Save Me is about.
It's deep, man.
Fuck Michelle Carter.
It's almost as deep as these. No.
These nuts.
These
Excellent.
So, let's get back to room 216 real quick, because there was one question I had left.
Do it.
Where is this art from?
Ooh.
And it's kind of scary.
Yeah? Okay, great.
The person in the background kind of looks like a Neji, I'm not going to lie, from
Neji.
Naruto. Like, look, there's the headband, there's the long hair.
So this is from okay, so my drummer knows a couple people. And we had been looking to see who could do art. We didn't just want to like come up with something like we did last time, although we're very proud of like some of the artwork that we've done. I'm so glad that we reached out to Chloe for the last one, but we wanted to kind of be, you know, more different. You know, we wanted to do something a little bit more. So
Right.
he he put us in contact with an artist called Flores Solano, and he actually he actually does a bunch of artwork. He does a couple artworks or album artworks for other artists before, but he's a cool artist. I haven't met him or spoken to him personally, but I was very happy that with what we got, because it kind of like has that ominous and creepy vibe.
Yeah. It gives me some Junji Ito vibes.
Yes.
I really love the new logo.
He did the logo for us as well.
That's a real, like, it's just really pops out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do like the old logo as well.
You know, we thought it would be a little bit, we felt like we needed to do a little different.
Actually, now I look at it.
Yeah. We thought it'd be a little bit different. We tried to do something a little bit different.
Right.
So we really talked about these things. We met up and we were just like, you know, we don't want something simple, but also we don't want something too much, you know? So thankfully, Flores just took control with that, and we loved it. So shout out to him. Follow him on Instagram, and his Instagram handle is Soy Flores Solano. So if you speak Spanish, you'll know. But you can find him.
That'll be in the description as well.
We'll put a link.
Put a link in the description.
Double ums. Yeah, so yeah, that's the album.
That's the albums. That's the new single.
That's the
Room
single
216.
artwork. Yeah, I always call it an album art because it's album art.
It
but
is
it's single
album art. I mean, that's what you call it. Like, I don't feel comfortable saying single art.
Yes.
It just sounds weird. It's like, oh, you got a art for your single? It's like, well, yeah, I gotta advertise it.
Duh.
I'm very proud of what Yadel, that's the guy that worked on Woman. I love that.
Oh
one.
yeah, I really like that.
That one's like, it's so
Because
good.
it's also about, kind of helping other artists. How can I wanted to do something where we have an artist and we can kind of show the artist off as well.
Yeah,
Because,
definitely.
artists helping artists is the way to go.
For sure.
Yeah,
Unless
so-
I'm good enough to do it myself. Then everyone else.
Yes, then I'm not paying for it.
Yeah. I'm not paying no one to sing on my songs unless I want a guest spot. I do want to write a song.
True.
I do want to write a song one day where I can have you on as a guest, maybe.
I would love to. I'd love to do a collaboration. If you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, anyone who's listening, I'm all about doing collabs. You want my voice somewhere, even if it's the most minimalist thing, I'm there. I'll do your backups. I'll do your harmonies. You tell me what you want to hear. I'll do my best to emulate it. If you don't like it, then you can just kick me to the curve. But I am so down to do collabs with other artists, even writing stuff.
Yeah.
So let me know.
Yeah, we actually got the opportunity to collab with someone. His name is Demetrius, I think is his name. And we're gonna
So
pretty much be
fancy.
we're gonna be on an EDM song basically. So I guess that's what you would call it, house EDM, whatever. So you're gonna hear like bass. You're gonna hear Aiden's bass, my guitar, and Javi's guitar in it.
Sweet.
And I'm looking forward to hearing,
I love
because we just recorded a
experimentation.
bunch of different things, and so it's up to him how he edits it. So I can't wait to hear how we come out on that. But I guess this is the end of the podcast. Is there anything else you want to plug before we leave? Like, what's next for Pandarama? Not spoiling too much, of course.
Let's see. What can I say to not put any spoilers? It's a very sinister question for me to answer.
So
I
just
don't know,
stuff.
It could just be a very. I don't know. This could be a toxic answer for me.
This
I don't
could be
know.
toxic.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. Well, you can follow us at Panorama Band on Instagram, and then you can see what's going on there.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Again, we'll be putting the links for everything at the end.
Who's gonna find the hints?
We're gonna put the links to everything at on the bottom in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Timestamps will also be in the description for YouTube listeners, and if you're on Spotify, well, go to the YouTube page.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram.
Thank you very much for being with us today, Panda. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and I love the podcast so far.
Oh, other than Panorama, do you have any like side projects you're working on, like podcasts, anything?
I am the side project. No, I'm kidding. No, not right now. Because of the pandemic, a lot of our stuff is kind of like on pause right now.
Yeah, I get that.
I do have a separate podcast called the Layer Podcast. You can check out some of our episodes on Podbean.
Is it on pause right now?
It's on pause right now, but you can still catch. I mean, it's old stuff, but you can still hear our sassiness. So you can follow us on Instagram. We have our stuff on Spotify. The Layer Pod is the Instagram. Yeah, we just find the Layer Podcast on Spotify.
Well, I guess there's only one question left to ask you, Panda.
Is it top or bottom? Because I hate that question.
What do you think? What do you think of my cock?